Good afternoon, happy Monday. Had some time this weekend to work on the Vespa a little bit, and I do plan on doing some more work today, but I figured I'd give you guys an update on where I'm at with this thing. Now recently I ordered a ton of parts from Scooter Mercado. They're out of Georgia. I've probably ordered 3 or 4 boxes of things at this point and received almost everything. So I'm at the point where it makes sense to start putting this thing together. So I'll run you through kind of what I've got and where the scooter's at and show you a few things that I've come across while working on this thing. As you can see, I've got the body on the lift table here, and yesterday we went through and ran some cables and the wiring harness. Now, one of the things I did run into with that wiring harness is the wires on this are a little different on this harness versus the stock harness. So there's some color coding here that I'm gonna have to figure out a little bit on. I know there was a blue wire in mine. It had a few less wires. Let me grab that and I'll show you. Okay, comparing the two wiring harnesses. This is the stock harness for a VNA. You see a light blue, a dark medium gray, a white, a purple, a black, a red, a brown, a yellow, and a white there. These were the horn wires. No, these are not the horn wires. I apologize. They are, I can't remember. They all did go to the switch housing. Actually, I take that back. These are the headlight wires. These went to the switch housing. This went to the horn. Now what I have here is I have what I believe to be headlight wiring, what goes to the switch housing, and then those go to the horn. And as you can see, there are different colors here. They did give me a wiring diagram, which kind of stinks. It's a, I don't know, really poor wiring diagram that you really can't read. It's printed on some garbage paper. Anyway, I'll have to run through and figure out how to, what wires go with what, and there may be a better diagram online. Now, when it comes to cabling, I do have everything labeled. So I've got my throttle cable, my gear select, my clutch cables. This kit that I bought all this stuff for a VNA. The things I did run into, the choke cable is totally different. This one actually locks in with this little clip here. The replacement choke cable does not do that. It's not as long either. It's actually shorter than this cable, so that's not going to work for me. Also, the rear brake cable that runs through here and back, they gave me this giant fat cable that actually would not fit through this housing at all. So I didn't want to take this out and I didn't want to ruin it. So I did opt to make a cable, and I've got enough cables around, so I'll make something for the rear brake. But some of the cool features that I found on this bike, I'm not sure if they've torn them down this far or if you're seeing these. I know that I did not see a lot of references online. I know I've read things on forums, but there's not a lot of good photo documentation. But some of the stuff I've run into, obviously there's some channels here for different things, and underneath, get you in here, there's separate channels. Obviously these two are your push-pull cables for your gear select. This one is your clutch cable, and the middle one is for your rear brake. So that'll go through once I actually button that one up. Some of the things that are going to be tough to do in here when the wiring actually splits for the main wiring for the tail light, that actually needs to run up this channel here, down this backbone here, and out this hole for the light. That's going to be a bit of a challenge to get to. I hope to be able to poke a wire through here, run it up, and then fish it through. That's my hope. We're going to see if that actually works. I think I'll be able to do that. And then with the rear brake switch there, I have to fish in here to get the wiring pulled. And I did slit the wiring so I can get the proper color through. And I can't remember what color that is. I think it's just black from what the diagram said. So I'll pull that through and I'll fish it through to the switch itself, so I do have to work on that. With my horn cast here, unfortunately one of the screws broke off, so I will have to drill that out for the horn. As you can see, my horn is in really bad shape. It was smashed completely down. It didn't work at all, probably because of that. And I don't know if this is the right horn for it. It probably is, because it does say 1 of 58, but the symbol kind of looks like a Cushman symbol. I could be wrong on that. From there, I did do a bunch of body work. So the right side cover, excuse me, left side cover, the glove box cover or whatever they call that there, this was dented in real bad here, and that did not open properly. Now it does. The front fender had a bunch of dents in it. Now it's in pretty good shape. It's straight for the most part. I did pick up hardware this morning to, fix this properly on there, and then this will be ready to go back in. There's some new side hardware there as well. I'm going to go ahead and age this stuff with some, rusting agent and some sort of acid or something like that to make it, look old. And then of course I've got my steering head all pulled apart here. I got this stuff cleaned up, and that's going to be going back together soon. As far as parts go, I did order new wheels. Those are going to go to powder coat. And then I've got my giant box of stuff here where I've got tires and tubes and lights and everything to put this thing back together. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I did put my new boots on yesterday, so those are in place. Today I'm going to work on the steering head assembly, so that's coming up next. And from there, I'll probably work on the front brake for the front end, because that does kind of bind a little bit as it's turning. The engine, if you have not seen the shorts videos, the engine came out great. This thing is super clean. I mean, as clean as I'm going to get it. I'm not going to tear it down any further than that. But as you can see, it cleaned up really nicely. I took about 6 pounds of dirt off this. So it was 5 and change in weight and dirt and grime that came off that, stones and things that had been stuck into, the little grooves and the channels and all this. It was really disgusting. But now I've got it cleaned up and it looks really good. As you can see, I've got parts everywhere in the shop. My home garage here, I've got stuff just kind of laying all over the place. I do need to pick up a little bit today as well. But I'm going to work for a little while, and then once I'm done working, I'll go ahead and I'll clean it all up and get everything back together. Well, friends, I just want to give you a quick little update. I know it's a short video and it didn't really show you a whole lot of how-to on this bike. I did want to record a bunch with this and kind of go through the process of putting this together, but I just haven't made time, unfortunately. Some of the stuff, it's like when you have extra hands, you just take advantage of the extra hands and you get right to work, and I didn't film. My camera was dead yesterday. I plugged it in and came out here and started working, so I didn't actually get to it. But I will show some features on this bike as to how to tear apart the steering head and different things like that that people don't necessarily know about, because it is a little different on this VNA model. It changes in years later where they're clipped in versus screwed in, but I'll show the difference in that in the next video. So stay tuned for that. Of course, if you've been following this along, hopefully you're enjoying the content, you're enjoying this video series. It's been a fun one for me. It's been neat, tearing into this little bike and getting it ready to get it on the road. With all these parts here now, I feel like I'm in the home stretch. I know I've got quite a bit to do and it needs some serious time, and I'm going to put the time in as I can. Well, friends, that's it for this video. I appreciate you all watching along. If you like the video, give it a like, hit that like button, please. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. I keep watching my analytics and I get updated once a week, and it is showing that about 90% of my viewers are not actually subscribed. So if you could help me out and help the channel out and hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And for the folks that have subscribed, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the commentary that's going back and forth too. Folks, talking about, different things they've done on their bikes and different features and ideas and all the fun stuff. It's been really awesome. So thank you for that. Anyway, friends, we'll catch you next time. Thanks again.